Thank you for tuning in to the HAE Speaks podcast. This podcast is brought to you thanks to the support of the U.S. Hereditary Angioedema Association, an advocacy and research organization serving the needs of the HAE patient and caregiver communities. We would like to thank Pharvarians for sponsoring this episode of the HAE Speaks podcast. We would also like to thank Michael G. for the music that you heard in today's episode.
Thank you, HAEA, for the opportunity for Pharvarians to participate in this podcast. My name is Mary Uhlenhopp, and I lead patient advocacy at Pharvarians, a role in which I work very closely with HAEA and other patient organizations on behalf of the company. Over the next few minutes, we'd like to share some information with the listeners today about Pharvarians and an ongoing clinical trial for this prophylactic treatment of HAE attacks called CHAPTER-3. I'm honored to be joined by my colleague, Dr. Kenny Robinson, Head of Medical Affairs in North America at Pharvarians, and Dr. Raffi Tachdjian, an HAE treating physician in the Southern California area. Dr. Tachdjian is an Associate Clinical Professor of Medicine and Pediatrics at the Division of Allergy and Clinical Immunology at the David Geffen School of Medicine at the University of California, Los Angeles. He received his medical degree from Morehouse School of Medicine in Atlanta, Georgia, followed by an internship and residency in pediatrics at Harvard Medical School in Boston, and then completed a fellowship in allergy, immunology, and rheumatology at the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA. Dr. Tachdjian has also been voted one of the UCLA Health System's best doctors. We're so pleased to have you both here with us. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mary. I'm very pleased to be here to be joined by Dr. Raffi Tachdjian, one of our Chapter 3 investigators, to share information about Pharvarians, our investigational drug, deucrictibant, and our ongoing clinical study. I lead our North America Medical Affairs team and had the pleasure of working closely with many HAE specialists in the U.S., like Dr. Tachdjian. I've spent many years working in HAE, dating back to a company called Jerini, which developed icatibant, an injectable medicine that is currently the most widely used on-demand treatment for HAE attacks. Pharvarians has a long-standing heritage in HAE. Our executive team includes our CEO, Burns Modig, and our scientific founder, Jochen Noli, both of whom were executives at Jerini, and our chief medical officer, Peng Lu, who was a key member of the team that developed laliditamab, which is currently the most widely used prophylactic treatment of HAE attacks. Over half of the leadership in the medical and commercial functions have previously worked in HAE. By leveraging this deep expertise, Pharvarians is currently developing an investigational oral drug, deucrictibant, for both the prophylactic and the on-demand treatment of HAE attacks. Deucrictibant is an orally bioavailable small molecule antagonist of the bradykinin 2 receptor that is currently in clinical studies to evaluate its efficacy and safety profile. In the Chapter 1 study, a phase 2 placebo-controlled randomized clinical trial of deucrictibant for the prevention of HAE attacks in people with HAE type 1 and 2, participants received deucrictibant, experiencing an approximately 85% reduction in attack frequency compared to placebo, and deucrictibant was well tolerated. Following the completion of the randomized placebo-controlled portion of the study, participants were able to roll over to the open-label portion of the study. Based on these results, the regulatory authorities approved further study of the efficacy and safety of deucrictibant in a phase 3 larger global pivotal study called CHAPTER-3, which we initiated late last year. To walk us through the overview of the Chapter 3 study, I'd like to hand it over to Dr. Tachdjian. It would be great to hear how would you share your thoughts on the HAE landscape and how the potential of deucrictibant phase 2 finding, if further confirmed in the phase 3, may eventually address unmet needs of people living with HAE. Raffi?
Thank you, Kenny, for that information. A little bit about my practice. I have a clinic that runs the referral center for the HAEA so that patients can be seen in our clinic in Southern California. And we have over 100 patients, a good mix of type 1, type 2, as well as normal C1 inhibitor patients. And some of them are actually families, which brings more, not just joy, but some understanding within the family. And some are de novo mutations, so they're the first in their lineage to have HAE. And when I think of these patients, first of all, many of them have been in clinical trials. So in essence, these are patients helping future patients with the science that we are guiding and shepherding them through from all aspects of medicine, the pharmaceutical company to the CROs, to the investigators, our nurses, our clinical trial coordinators, and the patients themselves deserve a lot of credit. But as I look at our patient base, as you know, Kenny and Mary, we've come a long way from 15, 16 years ago when we started developing these modern era therapies that have greatly changed the paradigm and the landscape of HAE as a condition, which funny enough makes some of my cardiology and oncology colleagues jealous to think how much progress we've made in that time. But even though we've done that, there's still a great unmet need area for these patients, especially in oral prophylactic options. And as we do that, we first look for safety, obviously, and then a quick, close second observation is how efficacious or how well does this drug work. And that really excites me about the phase 2 study results that you presented, Kenny. And as we phase in or we go into phase 3, if these results are replicated, deucrictibant could be a great option for patients with HAE. And that really excites me in participating in the CHAPTER-3 study as an investigator, because this, again, is a phase 3 pivotal randomized placebo-controlled study of deucrictibant extended release tablet given once a day for the prevention of HAE attacks. Eligible participants must be adolescent or adult women or men that are between 12 and 75 years of age with a diagnosis of HAE. And this could be type 1 or type 2, as well as HAE with normal C1 inhibitor. And they have to have a history of about 1 attack per month. A full eligibility criteria can be discussed with your treating physician, obviously. And the study consists of a screening period during which eligibility is confirmed, a treatment period of 24 weeks, and a follow-up period of a maximum of 4 weeks, or the opportunity to roll over into the open label extension study. And so overall, we are very excited to contribute to the ongoing clinical development of new HAE treatments with the hopes of addressing unmet needs for those who are living with HAE. Kenny, back to you.
Thanks, Raffi, for the great overview of the Chapter 3 study and your views on deucrictibant and its potential role in the HAE landscape. Some key differentiators of the Chapter 3 study that I'd like to highlight are: 1, in the randomized portion of the study, participants have a 2-to-1 chance of receiving active treatment with deucrictibant versus placebo. 2, in addition to HAE type 1 and 2, we are also evaluating deucrictibant for the prevention of attacks in people with HAE with normal C1 inhibitor, a population with greater unmet needs. And finally, all participants who complete the randomized portion of the trial are eligible to participate in an open-label study of deucrictibant, during which participants are guaranteed to receive an active treatment with deucrictibant. We hope that you will visit the HAEchapter.com, that's HAE-chapter.com, where you can find more information in both English and Spanish and locate a trial site near you. Additionally, please contact your HAE physician to discuss this further if you're interested. The HAE research team is also available to answer your questions, and you may follow their newsletter for regular updates on clinical trials. And finally, on behalf of Pharvarians, we believe that progress in HAE can only be achieved when people work together. Doctors, regulators, industry, and patients and their families. Active dialogue and collaborations are crucial. Thank you, Raffi, and thank you, HAEA, for your support and collaboration with your steadfast commitment to keeping the HAE community well-informed and supported. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you, Kenny, and thank you, Dr. Tachdjian, for your time today. Again, I would like to thank HAEA for their phenomenal work, what they do every day, and for giving us, Pharvarians, this opportunity to share this trial information overview. We thank you for listening, and for those who may consider participating upon discussing this with your HAE treating physician. Without the contributions of those participating in clinical trials, current treatment options would not exist. So thank you in advance for those who will participate in current and future trials in the hopes of benefiting people living with HAE for generations to come. Thank you very, very much, and have a wonderful day.
The information presented, including opinions and recommendations, is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. No one should act upon any information presented without first seeking medical advice from a qualified, licensed medical doctor. For assistance finding a physician, please contact an HAE advocate at 866-798-5598. The HAEA is an advocacy and research organization committed to actively engaging our community in a wide variety of grassroots activities that promote disease education and awareness. We provide personalized services to address the unique needs of people with HAE and their families, which include helping them secure access to and reimbursement for modern HAE medicines. Our great success in supporting clinical research has resulted in a variety of FDA-approved therapeutic options. We work closely with expert physicians to continuously upgrade quality of life through improving diagnosis and knowledge of the disease, and encouraging a tailored, patient-focused use of available therapeutic options. The HAEA is product and company neutral and continues to enthusiastically support drug discovery research aimed at the next generation of HAE therapies.
Eligible participants must be adolescent or adult women or men that are between 12 and 75 years of age with a diagnosis of HAE, and this could be type 1 or type 2, as well as HAE with normal C1